All right, we're gonna have our wonderful little bit. We always kick the show off with just some silly dumb jokes. You might call them dad jokes. We know that they're not really funny, but they make us laugh anyway.
Hilarious.
And here I was having a good time.
They really, really stress Patches out.
Spangle's here. It's like, yeah, honestly, awesome. Show's going great. And dumb jokes.
It's a good thing that Patches doesn't have hair already because this segment would make him bald.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you not like dad jokes?
Oh my God.
No, he doesn't.
I really do.
Watch him.
Too funny, too much joy, too much happiness.
Too much joy.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah, let's go with that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. He doesn't like the joy. He's against the joy.
Who likes joy?
Yep. Right. I'm anti-joy.
All right, here we go, guys. For the reels, right? Here we go. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Dumb jokes. All right, my friends, it's time to tell you some dumb jokes we already know aren't funny, but they're going to make us laugh anyway. Jonna, we start with a cat joke.
I love it.
I know. Jonna, how does a cat like their steak cooked?
I don't know, KJ. How do they like their steak
cooked? I've been practicing this. I've been practicing. Meow. Wow.
All right, you know what? I'm on Patch's side.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Did your cat write that joke?
A little steak. And he's laughing at the
steak. Half the fun of these jokes are the graphics. I'm telling you, if you're listening on Spotify or something right now, you got to go watch on YouTube.
I can't breathe.
Okay, all right. Well, that one didn't go over well.
See, Chris, this is what I deal with. Come on.
10 out of 10 for me.
All right, here we go. Oh. Dumb joke. Why did Spider-Man's evil twin fail his driving test?
I don't know, KJ. Why?
Because he was a bad parallel parker. Ba-da-bum.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do for you because I'm a guest.
Okay. There you go.
Did you get it because his last name's Park? Get it? Because they're you get it?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I got it. Now I get it. I didn't get it till the third got it.
Okay. All right. There we go. Mm-hmm. There's only one more.
Yeah, and his parents and his aunt and uncle are dead. Yeah. So, okay, let's go.
I really only do these for Jonna. Let's be honest. All right. Let's get through this. One more. Okay. You ready, Jonna?
Let's go.
Okay. Dumb joke. Why did the 80s music fan change all of his passwords to Kenny?
I don't know, KJ.
Why?
So he could have all Kenny logins.
All right, that was good. I like that one. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Look at that nice picture of Kenny Loggins right there. That is prime Kenny Loggins.
Come on, Peaches. That was objectively funny.
Thank you very much. If you have a dumb joke, please tag me, submit it to us. We'd love to feature your dumb joke on the next show.
Just please don't.
And I don't know why we always follow up the dumb jokes with Jonna's segment, because we have to get her composed. The Kenny Loggins joke really broke her.
She's not okay.
Oh my God.
All right, look, it was funny, Jonna, but come on.
Oh, it wasn't that funny.
It was funny. You're wrong. It was objectively funny.
I'm sobbing over here. Oh my God.
I respectfully disagree, Spangle.
I'm a student of comedy. A failed student of comedy, but
okay. All right. So we have Chris here because he's actually popping in pop culture. So let's get right to it. I turn it over to Jonna with what's popping in pop culture. Pow, 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 with executive producer Jonna. Pow, 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 powered by Conquest Journals. You got that? You got that?
Oh, come on.
I really was trying to stop.
Okay. All right.
No, okay.
There's nothing better than an inappropriate church laugh, or like classroom laughter where you're not supposed to be laughing. Nothing better.
Chris, I'll tell you what, I will laugh. Okay.
Me too.
All right, I'm gonna give you a little more time by properly introducing our guest. Joining us is Chris Spangle from the Chris Spangle Show and the BET hit TV show Ms. Pat Settles It.
Ooh,
thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Let's talk about. I've seen you doing, different events and things with Ms. Pat, but I've never been able to ask you, like, how did this happen? Like, how are you like her guy?
Let me ask you the question everybody wants to know is how did Chris Spangle end up on BET?
Yes. Honestly, Chris, that was my question. I just didn't want to say it, okay? How did this ginger man get on BET?
Jesus and Miss Pat are the only answers. So I've worked at Bob and Tom for 10 years. I'm their web director. I do all the behind the scenes, manage a little team, and do all the digital stuff. So anything you see online from Bob and Tom kind of passes through my hands. And I've gotten to know a ton of comedians working there, obviously. If you're not familiar with it's a national syndicated radio show based here in Indianapolis and 40-year Heritage Hall of Fame radio show that's like really comedy based. And Miss Pat moved to Plainfield, Indiana, my hometown. And the thing you need to know about Plainfield is that when Miss Pat moved to Plainfield, the black population went from 0 to 6. And so she had grown up in inner city Atlanta. Her book Rabbit is one of the top best 3 books I've ever read. And I read it before I knew her. I can say that objectively. And she had a very tough childhood in inner city Atlanta, never really had any exposure to white people, was drilled into her head that you should be afraid of white people. And then she chooses to move to Plainfield, Indiana, of all places, from Atlanta, because her husband got a job at the local GM plant, or Allison's. I can't remember which, but I think it was Allison's. And they picked Plainfield because of the schools. And so she's like driving around Plainfield going, what is all this tall grass? And she meant corn. And so, she had a culture shock, and then, she would come in and we were both working on losing weight. We weren't losing weight, but we pretended that the other was losing weight as a way of being nice to each other, and just kind of had a good rapport over the years as she came in, and she was just always one of my favorite comedians. And somewhere around 2018, she started asking, how would I do a podcast? And I would give her advice and tell her, because I've been podcasting since 2007. I started when we worked together at Entercom there in Indianapolis with Abdul. I have my own podcast that's been 12 years running, the Chris Spangle Show. And then I was like, you really should do it, because as a comedian, it's a great way to like have people get to know you, connect with your fans, build like a platform where people can connect. And she was like, but it's a lot of work. I don't know how to do it. I was like, yeah, for a reasonable fee, I probably could help. And so she called me one day and she's like, look, Joe Rogan called and said, I need to do a podcast. And if I do it, he will have me on his show. And this is peak Joe Rogan, late 2019, I think.
Okay.
No, it was late 2018, early 2019. I think it was January.
Was this when the Spotify deal hit?
Before,
like all that.
Before.
Oh, right before.
Wow.
And the thing that like Rogan at that point was at the height. Now he's on Spotify. The bump isn't as big. He's still culturally relevant, but like at that point, it was just mega. And so she invited me over to her house, said, I'm starting a podcast. Would you come over and just help me get started? I said, sure. Thinking I'm just going to help her for, an episode, kind of get the ball rolling, turn it over to some producer she finds. She says, you want to be my co-host? And I said, sure. We did 2 or 3 episodes and it was fine. But then she brought in Dion Curry, a local comedian. Yep. And that chemistry between the 3 of us really made this show what it is. And especially through 2020 and 2021, having a lot of conversations about race and COVID and big issues and just getting to know each other. Like, hearing her stories for the first time. It was a ton of fun to kind of go through that. And it was an education for me, one that I didn't have living in Plainfield. We knew the same people. Her son was my brother's best friend. Like, so she was actually at my house for my brother's graduation, and I didn't remember them. And she goes, "You don't remember the 4 largest, blackest people in all of Plainfield being in your house for graduation?" I said, "Doesn't ring a bell to me." And so
you said, "Was I even there?"
Yeah. And so it's just, it's been awesome. I mean, we've built this great audience on the Pat Down podcast, and they're called the Crack Babies because she used to sell crack. And they're the most dedicated fan base I've ever seen that have just helped take her career from, working clubs and, touring and, starting like headlining. But, it was there's a difference when you're a comedian, KJ, you know this, where it's like people are going for the bachelorette party and happen to see you versus they're showing up for you.
Yes.
And that clicked in 2019. And a big part of that was the podcast. And then those fans just took it. Miss Pat Settles It, TV shows, movies, books, just everything. I mean, she's just killing it, and she does everything to give back to those fans because they've given us so much.
Well, I know you're gonna work on getting her on the show. She was offered to me through the producers. She did a radio tour, and I was like, oh, it was on a day I couldn't do it. I was like, oh man. I would love that opportunity. Give us a little bit of the behind the scenes of being a juror on Miss Pat Settles It.
Yeah, so I thought I was being tricked. Like, literally, this is not a joke. So I get a call January of last year from a producer from television. They didn't say what network, and we're working with Miss Pat. I'm like, okay. And we want to do an audition. And so I do an audition with this guy who's just like in a generic looking office on Zoom. And I did well. I did well enough to get invited to the pilot.
What do you have to do?
So you just talk to them, and you kind of they give you some lines, or you come up with your own lines, and you're just kind of like talking to a producer and just, telling them about yourself, and they're just trying to get a sense of you and do you have a personality? And I don't know if he was drunk that day, but he said I did. And so then went and shot the pilot. And so the week before, Pat hadn't said anything to me about it. Dion hadn't said anything. And so
that's so weird.
It was really weird. And so I texted her assistant and I said, "Is Pat going to LA next week?" She said, "Yeah." I go, "For a TV show?" "Yeah." "Is it this thing?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, then I'll give him my flight information." There's everything I do is from a place of insecurity. So I'm like, there's no way somebody wants me on a TV show. Went and did the pilot. It went well enough to get me some episodes, and went and did the episodes in Atlanta. And next thing I know, I'm sitting next to Ray J on a TV show.
Oh, man. What a dream.
Yeah, man.
It's been awesome. Like the show, if you're not familiar with it, it's called Miss Pat Settles It. And it's on tonight, actually, at 10 p.m. on BET every Wednesday through, I think, December or January. And you can watch on YouTube, TV, BET, Hulu Live, all that. And Pat is a Judge Judy type juror. She's the only judge in television history that has been in jail and had her nipple shot off and also shot other people. Take that, Judy.
That's impressive.
Wapner never sold crack cocaine.
Oh my God.
That we know of. We don't know if he did or not.
Right.
And so she judges real cases between real people. They're all fantastic and weird and insane. She's got a celebrity jury and me, and then an audience. And it is so well done. It's done by a production company that's done Jersey Shore, Tool Academy, Tila Tequila. Like, they know how to do this stuff. And it's sentimental, sweet, hilarious, drama, fighting, breaking stuff. It's just nothing like it on TV. It's so good.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a watch party for this.
That's what I was thinking. If we did a watch party, would you want to come over and join us and watch along?
I totally would. Can I bring muffins?
Zoom in on this cat. We got a cat, guys.
Yeah.
There's a kitty cat.
This is Muffins.
Goodness.
This is grumpy old 12-year-old Muffins, who's
very grumpy.
Yes.
yeah, but she's the sweetest.
She just looks tired.
She said, "Can you please put me down?"
Well,
and I owe you dinner anyway, so we're good.
That's right. Last time we were supposed to come over for dinner, and I said, "Hey, my wife's having a baby in like a week, and she wants to cancel. Is that okay?"
Well, it was so weird.
KJ told me about
that.
Right,
because I'm like, we're planning it, and I'm like, "Aren't you having a baby?" He's like, "Yeah, but like for not like a week. It'll be fine." I'm like,
"It'll be fine."
Sure. That's like your wife wants to come to our house.
Jada, men are stupid. So
you said it.
She's super cool and she rolls with everything and loves meeting people. She's like, I'm an introvert who's very shy in real life, and she's like a golden retriever. So she loves people and events and going places and dinner. And so I was like, she'll be up for it. She's like, my ankles are swollen. I'm swollen. This baby's about to come out. I don't want to go looking like this. I'm like, all right, well, KJ's cool there. I was like, you haven't bought the food yet, have you?
I was like, yeah, man, I'm real cool with your wife not having to come to our house when she is about to have a baby.
Could you imagine if your wife's water broke while you were at KJ's house?
Oh,
all
hell.
those cats in here like, what's going on?
It's like this hard, traumatic pregnancy that's all these problems. She's like, I need to be in bed. I was like, but it's KJ.
Well, that's
KJ.
I said, but it's KJ, and she said, I don't care if it's the Pope.
That's fair.
And yes, your baby is adorable.
Super.
Jessica, who is one of our founding crew members, the Kind of Nerdy Network, used to teach with your wife. It's a very small world.
Oh, cute. Yeah, if you go to my Instagram, C Spangle, you can see all kinds of gratuitous pictures of baby Matthew. He is adorable, and he looks just like me.
Matthew.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm finna go follow Chris right now.
Like that baby just like came out.
You know already?
I want to look like my dad.
We are Peaches. We are past the old man or Dobby stage because babies only get two options, and now we're into the full blown. I'm wearing a Chris Spangle mask for Halloween.
I love it.
I think you gave out your Instagram. Any other places that you want people to go find all of your stuff, Chris?
Yeah, chris-spangle.com. You can find all my projects. Check out Miss Pat Settles It. Listen to the Pat Down. If you like this show, you'll like that show. If you're into libertarian politics, then Chris Spangle show's going to be your jam. But that's a hard reach on a pop culture show.
Can I ask? Do your libertarian friends need any advice on owning cats? Because I'm an expert.
He said no.
Here's the thing about libertarians: they're good at owning cats and guns and not many friends, no dates. Just watching Jordan Peterson on YouTube and
oh my god!
If I can ever help your libertarian friends with anything cat related, you call me up.
I will.
Be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Believe me, you're like. I don't care about Jackson Galaxy at all. That guy's a poser compared to KJ.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Wow.
Chris, you're not a liar because I thought something was wrong with my cat, and I immediately text KJ. I was like, okay, this is what is happening right now. What should I do? She's like, call a vet.
I don't know why I don't have the KJ cat hotline going because
you just need to grow weird facial hair and call Discovery and see if you can get Jackson Galaxy's old time slot.
Oh my gosh! There is no. Yeah. Talk to your friends at BET. Do they need a cat lady there?
Black people own cats,
right? They do.
Yeah,
I'm a black people.
Let me call BET and say, look, I've got another one for you. I don't think they're looking for you, KJ. But
I have someone whiter than me that wants to be on the network. I
have another ginger that wants to be on BET, in case you were wondering.
And listen, she's got a friend that's part black, so it's okay.
Look, I got an afro, bro. We're already winning over here.
Yeah.
Already.
Oh my
god. Look. You're not Tyler Perry. You can't star in the Tyler Perry episode. So here we go. But maybe we can get, maybe we can get a cat on the jury.
Right?
Oh, there you go.
God. How chaotic would that be?
That'd be awesome. I'm gonna warn you though. Pat is not a huge cat fan, so
okay, that's okay.
She's just not. She came over to my house, and her and Mittens did not get along.
Oh,
they're not for everyone.
Right.
I don't try to make people into cat fans. I try to help the cat fans that already have them actually exist with them better.
Christy, you know why I have a cat? Because of KJ.
It was on the show. I was showing the pet of the week, and she was like, "Oh my God, do I need to get a cat?" I was like, "Yeah, you do."
No, I don't need to get a cat, and here I am with a cat.
All right.
Patches, does she like walk down the alley, open her trench coat, and go, "Psst, hey kid, you want a cat?"
No, Patches does that.
That is Patches, absolutely.
Patches is the one that collects the cats.
Are you two
exactly?
You two are strapped at all times with 4 cats ready to.
Yeah, it's secret time. It's actually I'm the crazy cat lady and not KJ.
That is true. That is true.
Yes.
All right, we've got to play Don't Screw the Crew. I wish that I had just canceled everything for tonight and just hung out with you, Chris, but we got tickets to give away and stuff like that. So
we got to pop in pop culture.
I hope that you enjoyed yourself and that you'll come back.
Anytime. You got my number. I'm around.
All right. I do. And we'll be having you over for dinner. You can be a special guest on What's Cooking with Patches and the Cats.
All right. Yep. Hopefully we'll do it in the next 6 months so she's not pregnant, hopefully.
You got it.
That's not my business.
I want to have another kid, but give me like 6 to 9 more months, please. She comes from a family 11.
There are some ways to make sure that doesn't happen, but I don't have time to get into it.
Not in this household.
Really took a turn.
Oh Lord.
The only thing in our house is a pull-out couch.
Please have your Spangled neutered.
Please stay and neuter your Spangles.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Chris.
God.
Bye, guys.
We will have you back soon, and go give a little love to Matthew and Mittens too.
All right.
Muffins.
Thank you.
Sorry. The worst. Okay. Goodbye. That was our friend Chris Spangle, the Chris Spangle Show, and Miss Pat settles it.
Oh, we're definitely going to be watching that.
Man, we are. And we aren't even done, man. We got What's Poppin' headlines for you. We got Don't